That's why I can't see down here. I'm like, I can't even see anything. Let's see. Oh yeah, we live. Okay. What's up, Jared? What's up, Jared? What's up? What's up? We're live. We're live. I'll be here for about good like in a good. Oh, I should turn it off on the echo. Okay. Probably here about good. Oh, maybe like 30 minutes, 35 minutes, maybe 40 minutes. Just discussing some NFL news. I was gonna do a pre-tape video, but I might as well go live with it. So we're here live, of course, discussing, talking on NFL stuff. You know, we're gonna discuss the Steelers too. Like I had to talk about my Steelers a little bit later in the video, but we're gonna dive into a lot of different stuff. So stay tuned in. You know, so before I get to that, though, let me go ahead and do a what's the name too. Before I get into that, we forgetting to do this sometimes. And let me add the there you go. I can see myself there. Let me add the times. Let me add the little stamp right here. Uh, mm, okay, then let me pin that one. I always forget to shout the members out sometimes on the channel. Okay, now, also remember, hey, the t-shirt store will be coming eventually too as well. I'll probably get that in a few months. The t-shirt store. I told you guys once we reach 1,000, have a lot of things coming. I'm gonna do the 1K special, like the channel update on what's going to happen. Of course, so be on the lookout for that. But yeah, we're just here today discussing, of course, some NFL news, some draft stuff, of course, in the NFL, and just breaking things down. So let's dive in first, of course, our first topic, which will be who will be the first pick of the draft. In my opinion, I think the first pick of the draft, it gotta be quarterback. It gotta be a quarterback. The Titans had the first pick, of course, we know that. We've seen a lot of different mock drafts say that the Titans could go Abdul Carter, bring him in, an edge rusher who is good. He's a great edge rusher. I had him on my draft going first one time before, but now looking at everything I'm seeing and hearing, of course, you're seeing all the reports, you're seeing all the different things about the teams trying to see who they're going to gun and who they're going to get. I'm thinking most likely Cam Ward will probably be going first. Cam Ward has a strong arm, as you guys know, strong arm quarterback. He has that leadership mentality, the intangibles you can't teach, of course. You know, coaches love that. Coaches love that. Teams love that. Those intangibles you can't teach. The guys who go out there and just get it done when everything's not perfect around them, can make plays. He has that ability to attack the middle of the field constantly over and over and be consistent at it. He's a good player. So Cam Ward probably be the first pick in the draft, most likely. Shedeur Sanders was probably a little bit higher on my board at first, but I think he'd still definitely be top 5. Some people have him dropping all the way down to like 21st pick. They had the Steelers taking him. I definitely love that. The Steelers can get him at 21, but I doubt he'd fall all the way down there to 21 because there's a lot of teams, like I mentioned, the Titans, the Browns, of course. You look at the Saints, who the Jets could possibly get. You know, they got Justin Fields now. They could possibly bring in another quarterback. You know, Justin Fields only signed a 2-year deal, so you never know. If it don't work out too well, you might can bring in another quarterback too. So there's a lot of teams that possibly could draft Shedeur Sanders as well. So I doubt he'd fall all the way down to that spot. If he does, that'd be crazy. But we've seen crazy things happen. We've seen Lamar Jackson, who fell down from all the way to, I think, the last spot. I think the Ravens had to trade back in the first round to get Lamar. Lamar was a Heisman Trophy winner. So we see him fall all the way down. So you never know what's possible in NFL. NFL draft, crazy things happen. So I think most likely we'll probably see kind of how things shape out, but we'll just have to stay tuned to see what goes on. But yeah, I think definitely Cam Ward probably going first. He got to be going first because I can't see anybody else who will be in that top spot. Titans need a quarterback who can stretch the field out for them, and a quarterback who's different. Bring game changing ability there and stuff. So we'll see what happens with that. But moving on next to the next topic, the top free agents still left. As you guys know, the top names, of course, the Stephon Diggs. He did visit the Patriots. I think it was last week. Last week, like Friday or something like that. He visited the Patriots. Stephon Diggs coming off of an ACL tear. We know he was playing pretty solidly with the Texans, and then he tore his ACL, and then you see him kind of like, things happen. Of course, in the offseason, for him. Texans didn't bring him back in. They went out there and traded for Christian Kirk. So you kind of figured that it was probably done. They're going to roll with the young guys. They're going to roll with Tank Dell, Nico Collins, Christian Kirk, John Mechie, roll with those guys. They're guys. And then let Stephon Diggs just walk in the offseason. So Stephon Diggs possibly could be a Patriot. Patriots do need a lot of receivers. He'll definitely be a top target over there. But I wonder if there's any teams like the Cowboys. The Cowboys should be a team that should be gunning upon that. Of course, the Cowboys have CeeDee Lamb. They need to draft a receiver, of course, but as a guy, Stephon Diggs, who's there, he showed many times that he'd love to play. Of course, be on the other side, on the same team as his brother. That'd be great and stuff to see. But I wonder if the Cowboys would be the team that's interested in bringing Stephon Diggs in. You think they'll be willing to do that? Because last year they didn't really have a receiver too. They had, of course, I think they had Brandon Cooks. He was in and out the lineup. And then they had different guys. He had the Cedric Wilson. He made plays here and there, but they didn't really have a solidified guy who was just constantly being open for them as a second option. So I think if you look around and you see Stephon Diggs available and you see him right there, the Cowboys should be gunning for it. But Jared Jones is very hard to he just doesn't do anything really too much in the offseason. And in the draft, he always drafts positions they really don't need. You have Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott not the best quarterback in the world, but he's still a good quarterback, good enough to help you get to the playoffs. Just overload the team with weapons. Overload them with weapons. Add another running back. I know you got Javonte Williams, but Javonte Williams really not the same. He don't have the same burst as he once had. So you need to draft another running back. You need to bring receivers in and overload the team and get the team back to being a high scoring team, high scoring offense. Remember, I think Coach McCaffrey last year said that he wanted to take over the team because the team wasn't running the ball that much. He took over the team and they ran the ball even less than the year before they got there. So it's they do a lot of the opposite. They say one thing and do the opposite. So I think Stephon Diggs would be a good spot for the Cowboys. But the Patriots probably the top team for him right now because you're looking at the new era trying to bring a better receiver in, a guy who still can be elite level too. He had the injury last year, but we know Stephon Diggs is still elite level type guy. And they bring that guy in with the young quarterback can always help them jump up to the next step. What's up, Tyrone? What's up? On the first pick, I think it's Cam Ward. First pick, Cam Ward. I think the first pick would be Cam Ward in the draft. At first, I had Shedeur Sanders going first, but now I'm looking at it the way the Titans team is kind of set up. I think Cam Ward will fit there perfectly. Cam Ward has a strong arm. He can attack the middle of the field. We see him do it constantly in Miami, making plays across the middle of the field. That strong arm to push the ball down the field that the Titans will definitely need. The Titans got a lot of things to fix too. They can add more weapons, of course, and add more pieces around. But I think overall, Cam Ward will fare better going there than Shedeur would. Shedeur took a lot of sacks in college. He took, I think he got sacked 54 times his junior year. Then last year he got sacked 45 times. So he took a lot of sacks in college. I think Titans O-line is still a little shaky at times. So I think Cam Ward going there, being a little fresher, have a stronger arm as well. I think a little bit more NFL ready than Shedeur Sanders. I think Cam Ward will go there. I had Travis Hunter. Travis Hunter is probably a guy who people think might go first. That possibly could happen, but I don't know if the cornerback would be anything that would be game-changing for them to go out there and make a big impact for their team. We could see probably Travis Hunter maybe going to the Patriots. Imagine that. Travis Hunter with the Patriots, Christian Gonzalez on one side, and then you got Travis Hunter on the other side, and then you just sign Milton Williams up front like that. You pay him $24 million a year. The man who had 5 sacks last year, who had the strip sack in the Super Bowl from the Eagles. So you have him up front. Mike Vrabel coaching the team. That'd be a little bit more better. So I think Travis Hunter, if he fall down to a little bit to the Patriots, with the third pick for the Patriots, that'd be great. The Browns possibly could take a Travis Hunter, but most likely they might be looking for a quarterback. So they probably could be Cam Ward first, and then you get Shedeur Sanders second with the Browns. That'd be interesting. But the Browns could also say, you know what? We're going to still trust Deshaun Watson because they did restructure his deal. I know he retoured his Achilles, so he will probably miss most of the games early on, but they did change his deal up a little bit. They can bring a veteran quarterback in, and they can add more weapons around. Say, we're going to draft Abdul Carter, we're going to draft some receivers, we're going to draft some more pieces around, and just overload the team. So whoever quarterback do comes here will be great. So we'll have to see exactly what happens. But I think definitely Cam Ward got to go first. The Titans cannot miss upon a QB unless they trade back in the draft and say they want to trade back and just add. If they're not ready for a quarterback yet, they want to trade back in the draft and just overload the roster with some stuff and then wait till next year to draft one. But I can't see them passing on some QBs who are very good, like Cam Ward or Shedeur Sanders. This is might not be the deepest draft class, but do have some top tier guys in Shedeur Sanders, Cam Ward. Jalen Moreau is a potential guy. He's more of a project pick, and then, a guy like Jackson Dart, he has potential as well to be good, and some other guys too in the draft as well. But I feel like the top 2 guys, of course, that's above everybody is definitely Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders. They NFL ready. They can start. They probably can start probably probably start today and go out there and have a lot of success. So we'll see what happens with that. Yeah, but I think Stephon Diggs definitely got to be probably a Patriot most likely. We'll probably see something Samuel Jr., not the senior. Senior, he's been having a battle with Deion Sanders and Shannon Sharp. I'm gonna discuss that a little bit too. But Sonny Samuel Jr., I'm surprised he's still available right now. I don't know if his asking price is too high. He's 25 years old. He's a pretty solid, pretty good cornerback too as well. Like that, he might not be elite, but he's pretty good. Definitely as your second guy, he'd be very good. And your first guy, he can be pretty good too at times. So I think the Commanders, they say they're looking at him, maybe bring him in, maybe pair him with Marshawn Lattimore to up their defense even more in secondary. So I was hoping the Steelers maybe look into that, but seeing that he's been sitting in the market this long, the Steelers probably not interested because maybe the asking price is too high for them. So we'll see what happens with him. Also, Keenan Allen, could he make a return back home to LA, or is he going to stay with the Bears? I believe he's still a free agent as well. Of course, Aaron Rodgers. The name is circulating around with Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers been everywhere like that. You know, they're saying like he was the Giants. He's gonna maybe be Viking at first, and the Vikings said he was done. It was out on Rodgers, and then you seen the Giants and the Steelers. So now we're gonna see where Rodgers land. In my opinion, you know, like I mentioned before, I wouldn't really want Rodgers fully. If he came to the team, I'll be for it, of course, in the sense of like, you know, room for everybody on the team. But I wouldn't be all for Rodgers because I'm like, we're gonna be in the same predicament. You're getting an older quarterback in, and just relying on an older quarterback to try to do something, and it's not gonna work out the same. We did that for Big Ben. We did that for Russell Wilson. We're doing that now for Aaron Rodgers as well. Like that, I don't know if that formula gonna work. We need to go out there and make a move and go young. Like I mentioned on the Steelers Syndicate channel earlier today on the video, the Chiefs. We've seen Alex Smith. Remember the Chiefs went to the playoffs many times. The Steelers kind of the same predicament a little bit. The Chiefs went to the playoffs many times. Remember Alex Smith got to the playoffs constantly. And what did the Chiefs do? They're like, we can get to the playoffs and get it done, but we just can't win. I compare it to, I think on the Steelers Syndicate channel, I compare it to like the Wiz. You guys remember the Wiz? The old, basically the black version of the Wizard of Oz. No, remember the song that Michael Jackson was singing on there? You can't win. You can't get out of the game. The Steelers cannot get out of the first round. Can't get out of the game. We've been losing first round of playoffs for like 8 straight years or something. We haven't won a playoff game in a while. It's like 2016, 2017. We can't get out of the game. So the Steelers might be in the same predicament the Chiefs was in. When the Chiefs getting to the playoffs, just can't get over that hump with Alex Smith. And they say, you know what? Let's trade up in the draft and get this guy. This guy, Patrick Mahomes, I like him a lot. Let's trade up in the draft and get him. I know he had a lot of touchdowns, of course, he threw at Texas Tech. A lot of interceptions as well. But I think I can work with this guy. He has that talent. And Andy Reid traded up in the draft. Advocated for the trade up in the draft to get Patrick Mahomes, brought Patrick Mahomes in, and now they got 3 Super Bowls. They've been to 5 Super Bowls, and Mahomes haven't played anything less than the AFC Championship game in the playoffs. It's either the AFC Championship game or Super Bowl for him in the playoffs like that. So like sometimes you see a guy that's like that, and you really have trust in, and you know he can fit in your system well. You might have to trade up and get him. Trade up and get him. Bring that guy in and just open up so much more for your team. The Steelers might need to do that in a sense. I don't know about all of it's this year or next year. I don't know what it is. I think Shedeur Sanders would be great. I think he'd fit perfectly in Pittsburgh like that. The way Steelers culture is and the embodiment of it, he fit perfectly. But I don't know if the Steelers will trade up in the draft to do that or not. We have to wait and see what they fully and truly do. But I think that would be interesting to see what happens. Because the Steelers are a team that's very good. You know, a good team that can get to the playoffs constantly, a good team that can go out there and be competitive. But can you ever get past that hump, get to the next level? Sometimes you need that extra umph. You need to make a spark. Like that Coach Tomlin mentioned the spark before. Remember when we started, Kenny Pickett, after Mr. Trubisky was in, he said we need a spark to get things going. And they had a winning streak, and they finished with a winning record and try to carry it on to next year and stuff. You need a spark. You need a spark sometimes. Go out there and make a change, a big move that not expected that you usually don't do like that. Bring a spark to the team, some fire to the team, and then open up so much more for everything. So I think the Steelers do that. You could possibly see them maybe making that leap to being an elite level team, but we'll have to see what we do. But Aaron Rodgers will be all right, I think, but I feel like he's going to retire. I feel like he made a decision by now. They said he might make his decision later this week, but I feel like he's going to retire. In Aaron Rodgers' fashion, he would definitely do that. Aaron Rodgers is the type of person who would linger his own for a while, and then when it comes time to him making a decision, he'll say, you know what, guys? I'm retired. He would definitely do that for the attention and everything. He probably announced it on the Pat McAfee show or something. But the Steelers gotta find a guy, gotta find a quarterback. You can't compete without a quarterback. You can change the coach out, you can change these players out every single time. If you don't have the quarterback position, it's hard to compete. Like I mentioned, the 3 most important positions in football are the ones that are closest to the football. If you don't have the O-line to control the football, it's hard to compete. You don't have the edge rusher, a pass rusher who can get after the quarterback. It's hard to compete. If you don't have a quarterback, it's hard to compete in the league. What's up, Gene? Yeah, it's hard to compete in the league. It's hard to compete if you don't have those positions in the football. We have the edge rusher. O-line is all right, pretty solid, talent, pretty good, still developing more. Quarterback is a questionable position. The Steelers got to find a way to get it done every single year, to get to the playoffs with different quarterbacks, but you got to have that solidified guy. Mason Rudolph, I wouldn't mind him being the starter, the bridge guy, maybe like for next year, and we'll see what happens. If we can get a guy and maybe develop a guy like a Jackson Dart or Jalen Moreau, or if we do get a Shedeur Sanders, that'd be great, or something like that. But I'm still holding off hope a little hope. As I know it's a far-fetched one, but I've been mentioning it many times on this channel and on the Steelers Syndicate channel. Kyler Murray. I think the Cardinals eventually will have a point where they say, you know what, it's not working with us. Because Kyler Murray and the Cardinals had another down year last year, and they haven't been to the playoffs. They've been to the playoffs, I think, one time, I think, his whole tenure there, if I'm not mistaken. So I think it's going to come eventually. It's going to come a time where the Cardinals say, you know what, let's go ahead and just cut ties with Kyler Murray. He'd be on the market. I think he'll fit perfectly in Pittsburgh. A Kyler Murray type guy. He's a good quarterback still. He's like 28, 29-ish, right at range, 28, if I'm not mistaken. So bringing a guy like that in would be great. It might not happen, of course, this offseason right here, but I think next year, if the Cardinals have another down year, I think Kyler Murray could possibly be available. The Steelers should be all in on that. Kyler Murray in our offense with the DK Metcalf and the GP, if he does stay around, of course, would be amazing to see. So we have to wait and see kind of what's going to happen. But yeah, that's mostly the main stuff I wanted to discuss, of course. I also want to discuss Sunday Samuel going there with Deion Sanders, trying to they battling. I guess they talking about technique, and he was saying that he's trying to compare and say that his stats was so he played in less games. He played in less games, and he still don't have the same amount of sacks. I mean, stats that Deion Sanders had, the interceptions and all the extra stuff. Sunday Samuel was very good. Senior was very good. He had four Pro Bowls. He was a multiple-time first-team All-Pro as well, like that. Won 2 Super Bowls. But Deion Sanders in a different universe, like that. There's good, and then there's like elite, just greatness, like out of this rim greatness. And Deion Sanders is in a different universe than him. You make an all-decades team, you're like that. Deion Sanders and Terrell Owens are the only 2 players to make first-team All-Pro on 3 different teams. Like that's very hard to do. Like on 3 different teams, like made first-team All-Pro. He did it to the Falcons, he did the 49ers, he did it with the Cowboys as well, like that. So I'm like, Sunday Samuel's, he had a good career, but I don't know what the comparison is coming from. Like him trying to compare himself to Deion Sanders, like that. He's a good player, but Deion Sanders is just on a different level, like that. It's like trying to compare Reggie Miller to LeBron. Reggie Miller is a good player, but LeBron's just on a different level, like that, on a wider different level, a greater different level, like that. So it's just kind of hard to compare the two. But they've been going back and forth on there for the past 2 days. So Jerry said, draft Shedeur. That'd be great. If Shedeur can fall to the 21st pick, man, that would be real good for us. Like that would set us for the next few years. A lot of people don't like Shedeur Sanders because they're like, because he's too confident. Every quarterback is confident and have a little arrogance to them. We see it through all the quarterbacks. We had Big Ben here, for crying out loud. Big Ben was one of the most arrogant quarterbacks, throwing his teammates under the bus and all type of things. But he did win. He won 2 Super Bowls and got us to 3 Super Bowls as well. Many Pro Bowls and many big-time moments he had in the playoffs. A very clutch player as well. Shedeur Sanders, of course, a lot of the different quarterbacks are going to be a little arrogant, have confidence in themselves, and you want that in your leader, confidence and stuff as well, too. You don't want them to be too crazy, of course, like too arrogant like that, but they don't have a little arrogance, just a little bit. But I don't really care about any of that stuff. I see a lot of the anonymous reporters. I always say anonymous. They never put a name on anything. They said anonymous reporters saying that Shedeur Sanders had a bad interview and this and that. I seen the film of Shedeur Sanders. I don't care about what he said in the interview. I seen the film of Shedeur Sanders delivering the ball from the pocket, him being a clutch player, game-winning throws, game-winning drives, constantly through college. I've been watching him since high school, actually. I remember they used to have that little show on the Overtime YouTube channel. They used to show the Texas Christianity, because he's from Texas. He's from where I'm from, like that. So they used to always mention him a lot, like that. So I watched him in high school all the way up to this. I seen the film. I seen him develop like that and be a great player and change the game and stuff as well and bet on himself many times when he did at Jackson State. And what he did, of course, at Colorado as well. He's been a very good player. And even when things are not the best. Remember, one year when the O-line was bad, he found a way to get it done every single time like that. And still have productive stats and still keep his team in the fight. Still keep his team in the game as well. And last year they made a bowl game. People kept saying they won't win more than 5 games. They won 9 games last year and went out there and handled things. He always found a way to fight through adversity. He had those intangibles you can't teach. Plus the skill level that he has there as well, too. His footwork, his pocket presence, his mobility. He's not doing threat quarterback. I've seen one of the worst comparisons on YouTube. I was watching the video, someone trying to break down Shedeur. It's like compare Shedeur to Lamar Jackson. I'm like, Shedeur and Lamar Jackson are not even in the same play style. Shedeur is a pocket passer. Just because the quarterbacks are both black, don't mean they can both run and be dual threat like that. Lamar Jackson is a dual threat quarterback. Shedeur is a pocket passer. He passed from the pocket. Look at his rushing numbers. It's not that crazy. If you watch this game, he delivered mostly from the pocket. He can maybe scramble if he has to occasionally. He's kind of like Aaron Rodgers like. And Aaron Rodgers is not a dual threat, but he's a mobile quarterback. People kind of miss that up a little bit. They think because a quarterback can move a little bit that he's dual threat. No, dual threat is Josh Allen's, Lamar Jackson's, Jalen Hurts. Those are dual threat quarterbacks. Mobile quarterbacks are Patrick Mahomes. He's mobile. Like that. Have a guy who can maybe like get out occasionally and make plays. But like dual threat and mobile is two different things. Oh, what's up, Mark? What's up? Appreciate the $5 as well. And yep, we finally hit 1K. I'm gonna do a 1K special probably later today. We finally hit 1K. Finally hit 1K on here. It's been I think a few years like that. A while ago. Finally hit 1K. You see, you response to this. Finally hitting 1K. But Shedeur Sanders is a good quarterback. But that's probably the worst video ever. I was like, Lamar Jackson and Shedeur Sanders are completely different play styles. It's like comparing Shaq to Stephen Curry. Like two different play styles. Like it ain't the same thing. I think Shedeur, it will be great if we can get him. But we're gonna see what happens. If he like I mentioned last time, he fall past the Saints. Then I know he's definitely coming to Pittsburgh because like the top teams, of course, like I mentioned, the Giants, the Browns, the Titans, they all need quarterbacks. If he fall past them, then you look at the Jets. The Jets possibly could take a quarterback even with Justin Fields there to be sure to be like a little safer than sorry like that. Justin Fields won't work out. They have another guy to fall back onto. The Saints need a quarterback too. If the Saints pass upon him and he fall past the Saints, I think all the other teams right there kind of have their guys, so we could possibly see him maybe fall down to 21 to Pittsburgh or close to it, where Pittsburgh maybe can trade up a little bit to get him. So if he fall past the Saints, then you're looking at like, okay, we might be able to get him now. Because I think the Raiders they was in on him at first, but after they made the trade for Geno, they might be going like full all in to build the offense up. Maybe taking Ashton Genty or somebody high up in the draft to kind of help them with their offense to kind of win now mode, like that with Pete Carroll and Geno Smith. So we'll see. Do we need the last draft bender? The last draft bender disappeared. But he came back, came back. The last draft bender. I thought of that idea randomly because I was rewatching. I think that one episode with they broke out. I think he broke out. I think Sokka them dad on Avatar: Last Airbender, and they went to the Bowling Rock, the prison. I was rewatching that episode. That's probably my favorite one. And I said I should do a video like the last draft bender. I said the last Airbender, the last draft bender. So I just put that concept together and made something crazy for the intro. The next intro. It's gonna be funny too. I'm gonna have my cousin there too. Like that. I'm gonna probably record that one tomorrow. So that one's gonna be for Friday. It's gonna be funny too. Just add a little extra entertainment before the video. But Shedeur, if we can get him, that'd be nice. Yeah, okay, Aaron Rodgers, I really don't want Aaron Rodgers here. But if he does come here, I'd be like, okay, that's cool and all. But I really don't want Aaron Rodgers here. I want us to just roll with Mason Rudolph as a bridge guy. And even Shedeur Sanders do come here. Like we draft him. I would prefer him to sit behind Mason a little bit, just a little bit. Like that to learn, or you could, but if you want to throw him out there first, you could do that too as well. But sit behind Mason just a little bit and learn a little bit, and then we'll see how things go. Because the Steelers team definitely be competitive with Mason or with whoever they got. He said we need Trubisky. No Trubisky, no Trubisky. If you bring Trubisky back, you might well bring back Chase Claypool, Deontay Johnson, John Bostic. Bring back all the people. To the episode with the Sun People and the Dragons. Oh yeah, the Dancing Dragon when they was learning the original way how to think like firebend like that. I think Zuko turned to a good guy. He couldn't firebend no more because he was angry. He was like bending through like anger and stuff. That was a good episode too. But Trubisky, Can I bring Trubisky back? Don't bring Trubisky back. That was still one of the worst signings. I think Kevin Colbert kind of set us up for failure. He drafted Kenny Pickett first. Pickett probably went second round, really. Second and third round, really. He could have been around the same range available. To Pickett first. The man drafted he took Pickett. There's somebody else he took that he did something crazy too as well. But he took Mr. Trubisky. They did some crazy things. Like his last 10 years, his last like 6-7 years was just bad. Remember the Jarvis Jones one that he drafted? That wasn't good at all. Like that. And a lot of different things. Deshaun Davis, the Artie Burns, they was good their first year, but after that they started like playing bad. We had all type of DBs, Cody Sensabaugh. He didn't draft those guys, but like he kept signing guys like Ross Cockwell, who was all right at times, but overall it was not that good. Kevin Colbert was sabotaging us for the last like 8-9 years. I feel like he like kind of just like gave up. He had TJ Watt. He drafted TJ Watt, of course, and made the trade for Minka, which was cool. But other things like that, like some other things he didn't do, he didn't really do too much. I feel like he kind of sabotaged us a little bit. He started doing some crazy stuff. That was bad though, Kevin Colbert. But yeah, I think Colbert might have been a Browns fan. He might have been a Browns fan because there's no way. I was like, he just took Mr. Trubisky the first 10 minutes of free agency. Yeah, all these quarterbacks out there, and you just said, I'm gonna go with Mr. Trubisky. I'm like, what do you see from Mr. Trubisky the past few years that made you want to go with Mr. Trubisky? You just took him, and Mr. Trubisky, you know, the fans was already against him already. The first game where we had those 5 turnovers against the Bengals, and it was just bad. Like that, you know, our defense was playing good, but the offense could not score anything. We barely won that game. We got lucky because the missed field goals. The football guys was like, you guys got 6 turnovers. They cannot lose this game. So they had us win that game right there. But that game, that season right there was very weird. Mr. Trubisky, the Kenny Pickett came in. He didn't look too good. And then we went on the losing streak. And we went on the winning streak. And then we finished a little bit with a winning record. And I think that all season right there, we felt very pumped up. We was all pumped up. We like, okay, Kenny Pickett looked pretty good. He finished the season off strong and stuff. The Steelers missed the playoffs, but we still had a chance. We feel like pumped up. That 49ers game shattered everything. That 49ers game shattered all our dreams. That was a bad game. We got beat down bad in that game. Then the Browns game was crazy as well. The defense scored more touchdowns than the offense, and then that season was just very shaky. Mason Rudolph saved the day at the end of the year, though. But that was a very crazy season. And so yeah, he was bad. Yeah, Mr. Trubisky was bad. Yeah, he was just too like hesitant. He had the speed and the arm strength, but he's just very hesitant. His play style, he plays so scared. He don't want to step in the pocket to deliver. He just throw off the back foot. He didn't fit for us. He didn't fit for us too good. I'm still mad about the Jalen Hurts thing, though. I mention that every time I discuss Steelers quarterbacks. When we passed on Jalen Hurts and took Chase Claypool, I was like, why? And that's before I had a YouTube channel, too. That's why I was still in high school. I was like, we should have Jalen Hurts. They was raving about Jalen Hurts a lot, talking about him, interviewing with them, eating lunch with them and stuff. And then you draft Chase Claypool. I'm like, Chase Claypool was cool his first year. But after that, he didn't do anything. Like Denzel Johnson. Denzel Johnson had that one good year with us. But I feel like he got in his own head too much a little bit and kind of messed himself up. But now our receiver room is nice. Receiver room is kind of nice a little bit. Maybe add another guy in the draft, you know. Then the quarterback, Mason Rudolph is solid. I think he's solid enough to push the ball in the field, to get it to DK Metcalf, to get it to GP. We see Mason Rudolph did the last time he was here with the Steelers. He had like Denzel Johnson. He had GP, of course. The O-line wasn't the best, but he still delivered. He still delivered and made plays, of course, and beating 2 divisional teams and also beating some playoff teams as well. Like that, so that was nice to see. So Mason Rudolph, I feel confident in him. If he does start as the bridge guy, I wouldn't be like against it. I wouldn't be mad. Mason Rudolph is pretty solid. I think he's not good. He's not bad either, but he's solid enough to get the job done. We can definitely win 10, 11 games with Mason Rudolph. But I would hope for us to go out there and try to seek better options like Shedeur Sanders, or, you know, if we did make a big-time move or something. I'm still holding up hope for Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray might be coming next year. We'll see. But Rudolph is pretty solid. I wouldn't mind Rudolph. Rudolph does a solid job, and he buys into the team. Now, Aaron Rodgers, he got to come to practice. You can't be skipping practice. You don't know anybody here. So you can't be skipping practice and then come to try to play the games and stuff, and then you'll have no chemistry. That's what he did the Jets a little bit. He skipped the mandatory practice and the voluntary practice. If I'm new to the team, I'm doing what Tom Brady did. Tom Brady did, I think in the offseason he was training illegally. When COVID happened, he was still training. It was supposed to be training, but Tom Brady still was training with his teammates and stuff. And then also, you see Tom Brady, the voluntary ones, he was there. Mandatory ones, he was there. And you see why the Buccaneers won a Super Bowl his first year there, because he was out there, he was all with the team, and he built chemistry up. He learned the guys, learned the players, their tendencies, and learned different things. They had different connections with them. Rodgers did the complete opposite with the Jets, and that's why it didn't work out too well, because you can't come into a new environment and try to like act like you're above the team. Russ did that with the Broncos. It didn't work out either. You can't act like you're above the team. You got to buy into the team culture, and you got to get your teammates to kind of have a respect for you and kind of get into it. Mason Rudolph has that, so I think that would be easy for him. The Flacco QB2. Actually, that wouldn't be bad. Flacco, for some reason, I don't know what it is. For some reason, the past few years, he beat us actually, which is crazy. The man beat us with the Colts game last year. But Flacco, the past few years, as a backup, has been playing pretty good. The Browns, he did a good job. Got into the playoffs. They fell short in the playoffs, of course. But last year, the Colts, he played a little bit here and there. He did a pretty good job as well. So I wouldn't mind Flacco as a backup quarterback. To back up Mason Rudolph as an emergency type guy. I would like Tyler Huntley, too. Tyler Huntley, That might be nice too, because he's 26, 27. We've seen Tyler Huntley play, led the Ravens to the playoffs one time. Remember, Lamar went down. Tyler Huntley won those few games for them, got into the playoffs. And Tyler Huntley played with the Dolphins last year, won a few games for them as well. So Tyler Huntley wouldn't be pretty bad. I think he'd be pretty good too. Like, he has that ability to run. He pretty good, solid passer and accurate as well. So those would be some guys. I would have hoped Jacoby Brissett would have been here, but he signed with the Cardinals, I think. So we'll see. It says Stockton, a draft QB, or Milton. See, Milton is like a project type of piece, kind of like Josh Allen was when the Bills took him. Cause you seen with Wyoming, you seen Josh Allen had the strong arm, but you seen a lot of things he was missing. But they developed him well. Brian Daboll going there, being his coordinator that third year, helped him out a lot. They developed him well, and you see him become an MVP now. And then you look at Andy Richardson for the Colts. He's a project as well. Now, right now, he's still kind of finding his bearing a little bit, but been having ups and downs and stuff. We've seen him in Florida. He played pretty well at times, but he only had really 1 year, like 1 year to play. Kind of like Trey Lance, too. Trey Lance was another project pick, and you see now he's 24 years old, 24. He's a free agent right now like that. And he might not have a team to go to unless he maybe signs somewhere as a backup or something, so he might not be playing as a starter, too. So sometimes the project picks like a Milton is cool, but I don't know. It depends on if you think you can develop those guys well and maybe get those guys to the next level. It can be very risky. Like, that's kind of like a flip of a coin. It's like take a chance on them to draft them. It might work out well where he plays phenomenal, become like a Josh Allen, or it might work out where he become like a Trey Lance, and like don't develop at all like that. But he has potential, of course, the legs, the arm strength, and everything. But it's kind of like take a chance on that. Because some people had the Steelers drafted him in the first round. I'm like, no, not first round. Maybe second round. And the worst case scenario, but I think best case would be third round. If you can give him third round, that'd be great. But stocking the draft QB, I think Shedeur Sanders should be top of our list. Jackson Dart can definitely be there a second round pick. I think he's pretty solid as well. People say, well, he's just like Kenny Pickett. I'm like, he's nothing like Kenny Pickett. Kenny Pickett had 1 good year at Pittsburgh. Look at his stats. 1 good year at Pittsburgh. When he played. That was his last year. Everything else was not really that good. Jackson Dart has got better every single season. And he played Ole Miss. Every single season, every single time, he got better. He got a stronger arm as well. He's more accurate as well, like that too. I like his ability to use mobility as well, like that, get the pocket, make plays if he has to as well, with his legs and stuff, throwing a run. So I wouldn't mind him either, but we hope to get Shedeur Sanders. But if you can't get Shedeur, I think then it's Jackson Dart and then it's Jalen Moreau, kind of around that range a little bit. But we'll have to see what the Steelers do. There's going to be a lot of different things happening. I know my Heat about to play in a little bit. We play the Warriors. Just Stephen Curry is out. Okay. We might have a chance. My Heat lost. We lost maybe 1-10 of the last 11 games, which is very bad. But it's okay. We're going to find a way to get it through. The Kenny Pickett, future Browns Super Bowl MVP. He is on the Browns. I forgot about that. Oh, yeah, so that's gonna be interesting. If the Browns do start Kenny, because Deshaun Watson probably going to miss the first 2 games, so he could possibly start. I think DTR I don't know if he's a free agent or he's still there or not, but Kenny Pickett could start. Kenny Pickett versus the Steelers, that's going to be a massacre for them. Because TJ Watt and those guys are going to kill Kenny Pickett. Yeah. Imagine that. Pickett versus Rudolph primetime. The battle of the Steelers' former QBs. That would be funny. The last time we had a game like that, it was dreadful. That was that remember the Steelers Mason Rudolph won on Thursday. We played the Browns. That's when he got hit in the head with that helmet. That was bad, like that. I'm glad the helmet was turned the other way. Because if the helmet was turned to the top part, Myles Garrett would have been in jail. And Mason Rudolph might not have been here. Because like the helmet, luckily, God had said twist it that way. And him in the back of the helmet, I'm like, there's no way. He hit the top of the helmet with the top part, the hard part of the helmet, like the dome part. That would have been very bad. That probably one of the worst games I've ever seen. That game and that Patriot game. Mr. Trubisky started as quarterback for the Steelers. When he played the Patriots, and we lost to Bailey Zappi. That was a bad one too. I don't like that. That game right there was so dreadful to watch. It was a 4th and 1. Mr. Trubisky threw a go ball to Deontay Johnson, and we lost. I was very heated after that game. That was probably one of the worst ones too. Those are some bad games. The KP ain't gonna start. He might start. He probably have to. I think the Russell Wilson might be a giant or something. I don't know what he's doing fully. But the Browns did interview him last time. But we'll see. Yes, Zappy. Yeah, he had 3 touchdowns. Zappy was he was lighting us up. I'm like, how are we losing to Bailey Zappi? Bailey Zappi was like beating us down. I'm like, this is crazy. And we finally benched Mr. Biscuit. I think he lost to the Cardinals because Pickett got hurt, and then we lost to the Colts. I think we lost to the Patriots, then we lost to the Colts. Then Colts blew us out badly. And then Coach Tomlin said, yep, that's enough. Trubisky sit down. And then Mr. Rudolph came in, and he went crazy on Christmas. And then he played well against the Seahawks as well. And he made a big play against the Ravens and played solidly. I was like, there you go. Because like, he followed this. He did something normal. Let's attack the middle of the field. Middle of the field wide open. You got Pat Fryermuth with mismatches. You got all these GP mismatches in the middle of the field. And like, this is what I do. Pass the ball in the middle of the field. And I feel like this offense right here with DK Metcalf on one side and GP, it should be easy. A lot of crossing routes, a lot of deep post routes and stuff. A lot of things to get the guys on the move like that. DK Metcalf and GP are hard to take down. They're very good around the catch. So I think GP, DK, and Calvin Austin was top 5 in yards per catch as well like that too. They all have a pretty big yards per catch as well. So having 3 guys like that on the same team is going to open up a lot more. So hopefully those guys can get some chances down the field and make some plays. So Trubisky was the worst QB. Let's see. Who's worse? Trubisky or Landry Jones? Landry Jones, he did have a good game. Well, I think it was more the receivers doing the work, but against the Cardinals, he played solidly. But who do you think worse, Landry Jones or Mr. Trubisky? Landry Jones was I feel like he was just there as a placeholder because we didn't have enough. We didn't have anything. I remember him and Bruce Kukowski, they was just there on the roster. They didn't really do anything too much. I like Michael Vick. Michael Vick was probably one of my favorite backups. Him, of course, and let's see who else we had as a good backup. He said Mitch. Mitch is worse. What's his name? The quarterback. He's a backup for us. Oh, he was a backup for us a while ago. Batch, yes, Charlie Batch, yes, that's his name. I cannot think of his name. But him and Michael Vick was probably my 2 favorite backups like that. They actually did something like that. The Michael Vick game when he played against the Chargers was cool, and Batch when he played against the Ravens and we made those plays, hey, those were some good games right there. So they actually played and kept us looking competitive out there. They brought a different element too. But Landry Jones, Bruce Kukowski, Mr. Trubisky, that might be some of the worst Steelers backup quarterbacks ever. Our worst draft pick ever. It might be Jarvis Jones. from my tenure of watching. You know, I started watching like in 2007. It might be Jarvis Jones. Jarvis Jones was just they took him first round. I think it was his first round pick, if I'm not mistaken. And he had 1 career sack, I think. Jarvis Jones. I think he's definitely not on the team right now. I know for sure. Jarvis Jones might have been the worst one I've seen. I'm like, he didn't do anything at all. Drew Archer, that was a bad one too. Drew Archer I think he was a running back, receiver, or something, but he didn't do anything. Yeah, Jarvis Jones, he was first round pick, right? Jarvis Jones. So Jones had a Subway commercial. Now, yep, that's the only thing he had. Kind of like Will Levis. Will Levis got a Mayo commercial that keep playing over and over. I'm like, did I not see last year? Will Levis just did. He played a commercial over and over, that Mayo commercial. And Jarvis Jones was like, I think he was in jail. Something happened. Yeah, but from Georgia, yeah, that was probably one of the worst picks I've seen. I was like, the man didn't do anything. Like, anything at all. The only play I can remember from him was maybe that play he had with the Chiefs. He had an interception or a fumble recovery, but he didn't do anything. He had 1 sack. His whole tenure there. That was probably one of the worst picks right there. That was a bad pick. Now, you can't get no worse than that. People said Bud Dupree was a bust. I'm like, nah, Bud Dupree started off a little shaky, but he got better as time went on. But it's right, Jarvis Jones was definitely a bust pick. Sinquez Golson was one of the worst picks. Levis played. Yeah, Will Levis was he was bad last year. He was bad. He has the arm strength, but he has I don't know. He had that Brett Favre mentality a little bit, where he's just like, I can just make any throw, but you can't. Especially nowadays, it's a little different too in the NFL. You can't do that. It don't work out too well. Trying to air it out and stuff was the same. Yeah, Steelers have some bad draft picks over the time, but I think the Steelers might have probably the best like Hall of Fame class too. Like, look at all the people we have here in Pittsburgh. We got 2 Hall of Famers right now. We got Cam Hayward and T.J. Watt still playing in their prime. 2 Hall of Famers right now. 2 playing too. The Steelers probably have some of the best generations of like Hall of Famers. You got Mel Blount and Rod Woodson, who are 2 of the probably top 5 cornerbacks of all time. You got Mean Joe Green, Jack Ham, and Lambert. You got all these different individuals, Palomalu, James Harrison, T.J. Watt. The Steelers might have probably one of the best like Hall of Fame rosters. Like, you just get all our Hall of Fame players versus anybody else team. I think we have the best one. We got to. And they had a debate last time. They were trying to see who has the best roster. They got all their legends. I think the Steelers might be number 1. I'm like, Cowboys probably up there too. They got a lot of guys, especially the O-line. The O-line was very good at different times, but I think the Steelers might be up there. 49ers would be up there too, of course, Packers. But Steelers going to definitely be number 1. Got a lot of people. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I think all I have really for today's video. Just wanted to get a little NFL news in. I predict the first pick will probably be Cam Ward. Top free agents, Asante Samuel. I think he probably goes to most likely to the Commanders. You probably see Russell Wilson, most likely to the Giants. You see Stephon Diggs probably to the Patriots as well. And yeah, the Steelers just need to make sure they make the right decision, not overpay Aaron Rodgers. If you do a deal with Aaron Rodgers, only 1 year. You cannot trust to pay him a big amount of money over 2 years or 3 years because he's like always in and out the door like that. He's never like fully like committed to one thing. So I think the Steelers may make a great decision to say, you know what, we're gonna roll with the young team, or we're gonna roll with the veteran. Whatever decision you make sure it's a 1 year deal. 1 year deal. The Bengals had the best 3 players. Bengals will be 8-9 again. Yeah, they always start the season off very slow. They start off like that's the main problem right there. They start the season off like bad. So last year I think Joe Burrow threw like 40 yards in the game. One of those games threw like 40 yards in the game. They're just playing bad. Like they was like just real bad. Like they started the season off so slow. And then trying to make a big time run in the end of the year. But sometimes you run out of games. You're like, you got enough games to come to the win to get back in it. Jamar Chase is a great player, phenomenal player, top 5 receiver. T. Higgins is a good player too. But I don't know. The defense, you got to hit on the draft like very well. You got to draft a defensive player, an edge rusher in the first round, because you can't pay Trey Henderson because you paid Jamar Chase like $38 million or $40 million, and then you pay T. Higgins that money too as well. So yeah, it's gonna be very difficult for them to probably bring some defense in. On the O-line, it still have its times where it's shaky at times too. So we could be seeing the Bengals. They probably win. Maybe win 10 games, maybe not 10 games, but I don't know. They might not go too far because that defense not good at all. It's like the defense is real bad. Like last year, beginning of the season, it was bad, and now you're losing guys too. You're losing Trey Henderson. You're losing the different guys, linebackers and stuff. So now your defense will be even worse. I think you're losing the guy who gave you 17 sacks every year. You're losing that guy right there because you can't pay him. You could pay him maybe if you like restructure some things around and stuff, but you want to keep your offense very high powered. So now you're looking at it like, hey, you're gonna be looking real shaky. So the Bengals might be 8-9. They might be. Now maybe 10 wins. They can pull some magic out, but I can't see them winning the division. The Steelers definitely have a chance to win the division. I know the Ravens are favored probably, but the Steelers can definitely win the division if we just lock in. We could have won it last year. We got to stay locked in. We always get too confident and start doing extra things and start being too comfortable, and then we start like slipping up like we did last year. We was 10-3 and we fell all the way down like that. But I think the Steelers possibly could definitely win the division. They just stay locked in the whole time and get back on top. The Giants signed Russell Wilson. Oh shoot! The Giants signed Russell Wilson, $21 million deal. They $21 million for 1 year. Oh yeah, that's crazy. So will the Giants still go quarterback? I think they probably still go quarterback in the draft. You know, you have Russell Wilson there 1 year and have the guy behind Russ learn and stuff. So the Giants signed Russell Wilson. Okay, that's interesting. Now I don't know if actually the Giants O-line is still a little shaky, so Russ might get lit up over there. He held the ball too long too, so I don't know how it's gonna work on that, but we'll see. The Yep, I agree, Jer. He was not getting that money in Pittsburgh. $21 million. Oh no, Pittsburgh wasn't paying that. Pittsburgh, they might have to pay Aaron Rodgers, maybe. Like I'm trying to see actually. They probably pay Aaron Rodgers maybe around the same range, but I think they value Rodgers more than Russ. Rodgers' stats last year was a little better than Russ, and he does take care of the ball a lot more as well. But he's just a little older, you know. And Rodgers, they're not really his play fully. It's just his mentality. I don't know if like that mentality he brings is gonna hurt the team or help the team. So we'll see. So Wilson and Winston. Oh yeah, James Winston is there. That who gonna throw the most picks? Wilson and Winston. You got Rodgers and Rudolph. Yeah, but Russ should do solid there. Malik Neighbors is there, but Russ hold the ball a long time. You gotta get that ball out faster because the Giants O-line is definitely worse than our O-line. So we'll see what happens. But I'm surprised he signed with the Giants. I thought he would go to somewhere else or something. You gotta play Cowboys twice a year. You gotta play the Commanders twice a year. Now the Cowboys team is a little different now. They ain't the same defense they used to have. The Commanders, they have a nice roster. Then the Eagles, you gotta play the Eagles twice a year too as well. So you can play the Commanders twice and the Eagles twice. That could be 4 losses right there. Good luck with that, especially that Eagles pass rush against that Giants front. Man, good luck. Good luck with that. Good luck with that. But yeah, but this is all I have for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, like, subscribe for content. I'll probably see you guys most likely later today. I might do a review after the game. The Heat play the Warriors. It's Jimmy Butler's first game back in Miami, so I might do a video about that a little bit. If you guys watch basketball stuff too. So I'll be on here probably a little bit later. But yeah, I'll see you guys next time. So peace out. Yeah, but that's crazy. Russell Wilson to the Giants. Woo. Peace out.